So we have done up to the understanding of loops. 4 programs, nearly 25 people have submitted. Just before starting the class, I have rechecked how many people have submitted. It's nice to see the response even though it's not a direct thing. Okay. And we learned for loop and all, we understood how it is executing. Now we'll write few programs. See, most of the companies ask us to write pyramid programs of this kind. Today we'll spend some time on learning how to write these programs and how to think if someone gives a pyramid to solve. Okay. And some expressions like sin x, cos x, 1 by x plus 1 by x squared plus 1 by x cubed. In that way, if a series is given, how to think and how to write in a few lines. Okay. If it is Python, anyways, you can write it in few lines. If it is C, if it is asked in C or Java, how to write, that we'll master today. Okay. Clear? I will go through these basic pyramids step by step, and if you have interest, you please solve these kind of pyramids. These are continuously asked in every interview. Whatever the big interview you see, they'll ask these kind of pyramids. Okay. So you should master, if a pyramid is given, how to generate those pyramids. Lot of pyramid programs you'll find in Geeks for Geeks, HackerRank and all. Okay. If you can solve in Python also, please resolve in Java because it's needed for our future. Okay. Clear. Now we'll write a program to print this pyramid. See, this is left aligned pyramid and this is right aligned pyramid. We'll do them one by one. Okay. So what is the input of this pyramid? Anyways, it is a 5-line pyramid. If they ask us to print n-line pyramid, we have to read n from the keyboard. Okay. If it is n is equal to 3, I have to print only first 3 lines. If n is equal to 7, I have to print up to 7 lines. In that way, the input is the number of lines. Okay. So if n is equal to 5, what I have to do here? I have to print 5 lines. Okay. In every line, see, in line number 1, I have only 1 star. In line number 2, I have 2 stars. In line number 3, I have 3 stars. So this understanding, this intuition, you have to generalize. In line number I will have I stars. Okay. In line number 4, 4 stars. In line number 3, 3 stars. That means in line number I, you'll have I stars. That is the understanding we have here. Okay, shall we start writing? So this is the program I have already written, but I want to write before you. Okay. So I have imported a scanner class to read the number of lines from keyboard. So what is the signature of the main public static? Okay. Now I want to read the number of lines. Okay. So before reading, I want to print a welcome message. Okay. How to read a number n? How to read a number n? How to read? So before reading, what should I do? Wake up. I have to create a scanner object. Yeah, you have to create a scanner object so that you can read from the keyboard. Okay. And now I want to read. To read, I am using the method. Okay. So now I want to print n lines as left pyramid. Okay. And it's not a good practice to write everything in main, no. If you have listened to Sumit sir's class, he will stress a lot. Don't put everything in my main method. Okay. So what we will do, we'll write a separate method in the same class. Okay. When we reach class lecture, you'll understand what is everything. But under the class, you have main method. Inside that, I'm writing one more method. From these lines, you'll understand. Okay, inside this, I'm writing one more method. Okay, so I'm writing one more method which returns nothing. Why static? We'll see later. Okay, I'm writing a method with the name left pyramid. Okay, and to this I'll send a number. What it has to do? It has to print n number of lines. The job of left pyramid is to printing n number of lines. Okay, so from main I'll call that guy. Print the left pyramid and I'll call it. Okay, so what I have to do here? I have to print the pyramid. Okay, so if n is equal to 5, I have to print 5 lines. N is equal to 10, I have to print 10 lines. That means I have to repeat something for n times. To repeat something will depend on loops. Okay, if it is looking so too basic for you, please pay attention. For others, I'm taking this much time. Okay, so n times this printf will run. Okay, n times this printf will run. This is not a pyramid, just I want to show line by line for that reason. Okay, so I have written a left pyramid in which something is printed n number of times. In main, what I am doing, I am reading a number and I am passing to that left pyramid. Okay, we'll see what is the outcome of this. Pyramid or pyramids? Pyramids, sorry. Something other program. This is our program, pyramids. Pyramid is something other. So I'm running this. Pyramids. It will, according to our understanding, it will prompt for a number which is there in main 5. Oh, I have not saved this earlier program. It is. Sorry. Finally, I want to print all that. Okay, so it's giving errors. I have used I but not declared it. Okay. So it is asking for a number. When I am giving 5, it is printing 5 lines. In every line, it is printing a single star. Okay. When I am giving 8, it is printing 8 lines. In every line, a single star. But what you need in every line is not a single star. Okay. In every line, you need group of stars. First line 1, second line 2, third line 3, fourth line 4. In ith line, I stars. That means in every line, I have to print I stars. Understanding what I am saying in the generalized way, in every line, I have to print I stars. In ith line, I have to print I stars. As I have to print I stars more than 1, I'll again depend on group loop. Okay. So how many stars I have to print? 1 to I. Okay. So if I is equal to 3, this loop will run for I times. Okay. See, I have not kept any brackets. This is the outer for loop in which a single for statement is there. This is an inner for loop. In this, a single Java statement is there. So if a single statement is there, this whole thing can be considered as a single for statement by the Java compiler. Okay, for that reason, there is no need of blocking. Okay, so I'm thinking that I'll get output. Like, so 5. What is this? I'm getting many stars, but there are line break. That means I should not use println. I have to use print so that it will not go to the new line. Okay. Oh, still I am not getting. What's the problem? Can anybody tell what is the problem here? What's the problem? One line, 1 star, 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars. It's okay, but still it's not coming like a pyramid. Can anybody tell what is the problem? Nobody listening? You can write even in the chat. Yeah. After printing one line, we have to go to the next line. After printing one line, we have to go to the next line. How to go to the next line? How to go to the next line? There is our program. How to go to the next line? So this whole for loop prints one line. So after completion of this for loop, that means after printing the entire line, I have to go to the next line in this way. Okay, print line. Clear? I have to go to the next line. Shall we run it? This program still has a bug. Can anybody tell? Please think about it.
Brackets.
Yeah. See this. This outer for loop has two lines now. Single for statement and this print statement. Two statements are part of this guy. Okay. Only one statement is part of this guy. When a block, a body has more than one statement, they should be enclosed in a pair of curly braces. They should be made as a block. Okay. So now there is no bug. Okay. So we'll run it. Clear? Now it is coming like a pyramid. Clear? If I put star space, I will get a spaced pyramid. Sometimes people ask us to print a spaced pyramid and sometimes they'll ask us to print a pyramid which is tightly packed like this. Okay? So this is a left aligned pyramid. And the left kunnai kada lines and the left aligned pyramid. Okay? So this is the body of the left aligned pyramid. Make a note of this method. Make a note of this method, left aligned pyramid. Have you noted that in your running notes? In the beginning of the sessions itself, I conveyed that by specifying date, you have to write running notes. Okay? So now we'll write the right aligned pyramid. Now we'll write a program for right aligned pyramid. Okay? What is right aligned pyramid? This is right aligned pyramid. Okay? The logic is same. The logic is same. So here also first line 1 star, second line 2 stars, third line 3 stars in that way. But the difference is in every line 4 spaces 1 star, 3 spaces 2 stars, 2 spaces 3 stars. That means n minus I spaces I stars. In ith line I stars, and n minus I spaces. Overall ga mottam n రావాలి. Okay, n minus 1 spaces 1 star, n minus 2 spaces 2 stars, n minus 3 spaces 3 stars. That means n minus I spaces followed by I stars. That is the understanding here. Okay, so we'll write the same method and we'll change the name of it. Okay, so we'll call this I have not done any change. So what I will get? The same pyramid as it is. Now what I have to do? So this line is, this for loop is for n number of lines. N number of lines. And this for loop is for printing stars. For printing stars. And why this guy? Why this guy? To go to the next line. To go to the next line. Now what we have to do? Before printing stars, I want to print spaces. Okay. So when I have I stars, I should have n minus I. I should have n minus I spaces. Okay. Int j is equal to 1. J less than or equal to how many spaces? N minus I. See, this is one way of thinking. You can think in any way, but it should be good. It should yield the correct output with good amount of time. It should not take more time. Okay, in computer science, time complexity is a valuable thing. Okay, so this for loop is for printing the spaces. Okay, so n lines print చేద్దాం అనుకుంటున్నాను. ఫస్ట్ లైన్ లో స్పేసెస్ ప్రింట్ చేశాను, స్టార్స్ ప్రింట్ చేశాను. ఫస్ట్ లైన్ అయిపోయాక I went to next line. Again second line n minus 2 spaces and 2 stars. Went to third line n minus 3 spaces and 3 stars. In that way I have continued. Okay, is it clear? Okay. So to make our output more clear, నేను టైప్ చేసే కాసేపట్లో మీరు ఫోన్ చూసేసుకుని టీవీ చూసేస్తున్నారా? ఓకే, సో I'm thinking that my program works well, so I'll see. So there are no errors. So number of lines. First one is a left aligned pyramid and the second one is a right aligned pyramid. Is it okay for you? Have you understood? Now write the code for right aligned pyramid. You should understand each and every line we have typed here. Why we have typed this? Why we need this? You should have clear understanding of each and every character we typed there. Okay, make a note of this right pyramid. See, if some people are not good at coding, they can copy it. If some people already knows, without looking at the screen, you write. Okay. Is it done? Is it done? Is it done, Praveen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now we'll see this pyramid. Okay. This is a number pyramid. Clear? And understand this. How many lines are there? That is the first understanding. 5 lines. That means outer loop has to be run for 5 times. In every line, how many numbers? 1 number, 2 number, 3 number. That means in line I numbers are there. Okay. In line 3, 1, 2, 3. In line 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means in line I, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to I. Okay. So hope you understood what is this pyramid contains. Pyramid choose in a generalized way. We have to think some intuition. How many lines are there? What is happening in every line? Is there any relation between I? That means line number and the line content. So if you understand the relation between that, you can generate this kind of things. Okay. So now we'll write this. These are left aligned pyramids, so spaces are not required. This is number pyramid. They'll pass number of lines to you. Anyways, after this is for number of lines, okay, and this is for printing the line, and this is for going to the next line. And the bane only, okay. But inside the ith line, what I have to print inside the ith line? From 1 to I. In the first line, 1 to 1. In the second line, 1 to 2. In the third line, 1 to 3. That means in the ith line, I have to print the value from 1, 2, 3 up to I. So see this loop. This loop is iterating from 1 to I. So I'll print the value of J. So I'm keeping a space. Okay. We'll call it as number pyramid 1. Okay. See this. This is the outcome. In first line, J is equal to 1 to 1. In second line, J is equal to 1 to 2. In the third line, J is equal to 1 to 3. In the ith line, J is equal to 1 to I. So this is the number pyramid. Okay. It's very simple. In place of star, you just replace the value of J. That is inner for loops loop variable you have kept. Okay. Now we'll write the another number pyramid. Number pyramid 2. Let it be number pyramid 2. What is this? We have not understood that pyramid. See. This is also 5 lines. Good. In every line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means in ith line, I numbers are there. This is also good. But the content is different. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In that way, they are printing some number. Okay. So it's too simple. What is that? We'll take a number whose initial value is 1. Okay. We have to print n lines. We have to print I elements in every line. Okay. We'll print the value of A here. After printing A, I'll make A as the next number. Okay. See, initially A is equal to 1. I went to print the first line. First line lo print cheyali 1 to 1. That means only one number. I printed 1. My A became 2. So I went to print the second line. Second line, how many numbers? 1 to 2. That means 2 numbers. I printed 2. A became 3. I printed 3. Again, I went to print the third line. Okay, 4, 5, 6. In that way, it will go on printing. Okay. So based on the pyramid content, you have to devise a logic. Where is that? Even though I have written the method, I have not called it. Okay. It will work if you call it. Kada? See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. After printing every element, it is getting incremented. Okay. Is it nice? So just as you are little beginners, I have written it as a separate line. You can keep it here so that this you can remove 3 symbols, 3 lines. Idi teeseyochu, and you can remove these 2 also. Okay. It will print the value of A. Then after printing, it will increment the A because it is a post increment. Okay. In that way, you can reduce some few lines. Okay. While coding, you have to behave some intelligently and smartly. Okay. So the people who can code well are always smart. Is this okay? So I want you to note these number pyramids. I have not kept them in the notes. Just star pyramids ni notes lo pettanu. Ee number pyramids okkasari note cheskondi. This is 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Make it fast. Everybody should aware of why Adam has written 2 for loops. Why an empty print statement? Outer for loop is for number of lines. Inner for loop is for printing that particular line. Okay. Based on the pyramid, the logic is changing a little. Okay. 42 numbers. Okay, is it done? Even though you are writing in notes, follow proper indentation. It makes you acquaint. Okay. It's not always typing. In most of the interviews, people ask you to write. They'll test you the way you write. Okay. So, shall I close this? Shall I close this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is this understanding clear to solve few other pyramids for you? Okay. If the people who are interested can solve number of pyramids which are present in our coding websites, HackerRank or Geeks for Geeks, just make yourself good at coding and leverage this time. You have only 2 hours now. Spend at least 6 to 7 hours on coding. Make yourself a gem. Okay. Lot of resources are available online. So we have written only 4 pyramids here. I want you to learn at least 10 to 15 pyramids. That depends on your interest. Okay. So before writing series program, I'll discuss one statement followed by series programs. Okay, it's already 10:08. I have not discussed any topic. We have written only programs. Okay. So 3 loops are there now. While loop, do while, for. We understood all of them. We have written few pyramid programs. And so this is one pyramid program I kept as a snapshot here. Okay. Just you have one more variation for loop that is called enhanced for. Okay, this I'll discuss on Monday. Tomorrow I'll cover arrays. Monday I'll cover strings. After that I'll cover this enhanced for. If I forget to cover enhanced for, it's your responsibility to remind me that madam it is not covered. Okay, so we'll discuss the well-known things to you, that is break and continue. Break and continue are two keywords. I'm again using the word keywords. Okay, so whenever a break is written in your loop's execution suspends there itself and comes out of that loop. Okay, you have written a loop which will run for 10 times. After running for the third time, if it executes break, it will come out. It will skip the remaining 7 times. Okay, so break. Whenever break gets executed, the control comes out of the loop and skips the remaining part of the loop. Okay, this break is always associated with some if conditions. If some condition becomes true, it will break out of the loop. Okay, you can use this break in while loop, do while loop, and for loop. Anywhere you can use. Wherever it is used, it will come out of that particular loop. See, it will come out of that particular loop. If you have 2 loops, it will come out of that inner loop, not the outer loop, in which loop you have written. Is this clear? And coming to the continue statement, it is also associated with ifs. Okay, whenever a continue gets executed, the remaining part of the loop is skipped. The remaining part, continue తర్వాత ఉన్న స్టేట్మెంట్స్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవ్వకుండా మళ్ళీ బాడీ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది అనమాట. ఓకే, మళ్ళీ కండిషన్ టెస్ట్ చేయడం దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. సపోజ్ ఇఫ్ ఏ కంటిన్యూ ఇస్ ప్లేస్డ్ ఇన్ వైల్, whenever continue is executed, this down part is skipped and it will go here. Okay, if it is a do while, the remaining part is skipped and it will directly go to the expression. If it is true, it will go back. Okay, here also in for loop, it will go to test expression by skipping the remaining part. Okay, we'll write a program and understand. So what's the very first line of a Java program? What's the very first line? So I have already saved that file with the name break continue. So class name should be break continue. Okay, and what is the signature of main? Public static void main string args. Okay, so now I will write a loop for I is equal int I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to 10, I plus plus. Okay, so I want to print okay. So we know what is the output of this loop. What it will output? It will output 1, 2, 3 up to 10. Okay, I want to come out of this for loop. I want to come out of this for loop after printing 3 numbers. After printing 3 numbers, then what I have to do? After printing 1, 2, 3, and that means whenever my I reaches 3, I want to come out of it. So I'll break it. Okay, is this clear? And this is one more statement. Outside of for. Okay, so that is this break continue. Control S. So there is a fix in my program. What is that fix? I have to print the value of I, but I have printed I as it is in quotes. So 1, 2, 3, even though I have designed the for loop to run for 10 times, whenever I became 3, it is it has executed break and it has come out of the loop. Okay? Understood break, no? So the remaining part of the loop is terminated and it will come out of the loop. Okay? Now while I want to do one thing, you just tell me what is that. What is this? I mod 3 equal to 0. When it will become true? For I is equal to 3, 6, 9. It will become true for I is equal to 3, 6, 9. Kada? Multiples of 3 vachinappudu it will become true. So whenever I obtain a multiple of 3, I don't want to go to the next remaining part of the loop. Okay? So when I is equal to 1, this is false, it will come here. When I is equal to 2, this is false, it will come here. When I is equal to 3, this becomes true. So what is the continue statement? It will directly go to this part. So what it will do? I4, I5, I6. For 6, the remaining part is not executed. Again, 7, 8 is printed, 9 is not printed, 10 is printed. That means I am printing numbers from 1 to 10 by skipping the multiples of 3. Okay? So I am thinking my program will do that. One, 2, 3 is skipped. Why? Because the condition is true. Continue is executed. Remaining part of the loop is skipped. It went to the body of the for loop. 4, 5, 6 is not printed. 7, 8, this is not printed. Okay? Hope this is clear to you. Break and continue. Is it clear? Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this clear? Very few people respond. Same voices I listen always. Okay. Shall we write one more program or we'll leave for today? It's your wish. Because it's not learning theory. It will be nice if we write at least 200 to 500 Java programs in your entire course. If I may write 50 to 100 in the classroom, okay, but it's in your hands that you have to solve remaining 450 problems on your own. Any problem solve cheste meer anta expert avutaru. It's completely in your hands. You are not ECE guys, triple E guys. You are CS people. Okay. It will increase your confidence if you are good at coding. Second year, you have to completely utilize time to make yourself as a coder because you have data structures here. Data structures will help you to understand the loopholes and how to solve some problems which take more time and all. That kind of understanding data structures course will give. Okay. So shall we see one more problem and quit, or do we quit today? Okay, we'll see one more problem. Good. So the problem I want to see here is, see, many companies ask series programs. I'll show you what kind of. Series problems looks like this: 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7, 2 square plus 4 square plus 6 square plus 7. Okay, 1 cube plus 3 cube plus 5 cube in that way. Okay, we'll solve this B1 and we'll solve one more. We all know solving one series. See, I'm using the same stub here, same break and continue stub to solve the series. See, you all know how to solve this series. Do you know how to solve this series? Sum of first n numbers. For I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to n, I plus plus, sum is equal to sum plus I. Okay, this is a very simple series you have solved from the beginning of your courses. Okay, now we'll solve 2 square. So first 2 square plus, see, power I am writing cap symbol, 4 square plus 6 square in that way. This program I want to write now. Okay. So we have to read a number. I'm not writing all that stuff. Let it be 10. Up to 10 squares of even number summation I want. Up to 10 squares of even number summation. Okay. So I'll start from 2. It's a very simple thing. I'll start from 2. Up to n I'll continue. After 2 I need 4. After 4 I need 6. So I'll increment it by 2. Okay. To store my sum, I need an intermediate variable. Okay. So sum is equal to sum is equal to sum plus I into I. Kada? 2 square, 4 square in that way. I into I. So after the completion of the loop, you will have 2 square plus 4 square plus 6 square plus 8 square. So this is the way we write this loop. Okay. Is this clear? Is this clear? Is this clear? Now we'll solve this loop, this series. See, if n is equal to 10, I want 1 factorial plus 2 factorial plus 3 factorial plus 4 factorial up to n factorial. Let the I be 1. Generally, ఇది చెయ్యాలంటే మనం ఏం చేస్తాం? We'll write a factorial method. Okay. How to write factorial method? Public static int fact. I'll receive something here. Okay. Just look there. I'll type very fastly. Fact is equal to fact into I. Fact into equal to I. Return fact. So this is a for loop to return the factorial. So what you will do? You'll calculate factorial of 1. You'll add it to sum. Factorial of 2, add it to sum. Factorial of 3, add it to sum. In that way, you'll try to write. Int I is equal to 1. I less than or equal to n. I plus plus. Okay. You store the answer here. Okay. Sum is equal to sum plus factorial of I. When I is equal to 1, 1 factorial. Factorial of I. When I is equal to 2, 2 factorial. When I is equal to 3, 3 factorial. When I is equal to 4, 4 factorial. N factorial. In that way, you'll calculate and print. Okay. Generally, we'll think to solve in this way. If we solve in this way, no company will give job to us because this is a stupid way of thinking. Okay. If you are a beginner, you can think in this way. But if you become expert day by day, you have to think in some other way. See, here I am calling fact function 5 times. Every time it is doing 1 into 1. Next 1 into 2 1 into 2. Next call 1 into 2 into 3. In the next call 1 into 2 into 3 into 4. In the last call 1 into 3 into 4 into 5. See, so many times it is multiplying. Okay. So how to come out of that problem? Do you have any solution for that? Do you have any solution for that? Can anybody suggest? See, I don't want to write this loop. Okay. I don't want to write this loop. Intelligently, I want to solve here itself. Okay. I want to find 1 factorial plus 2 factorial plus 3 factorial plus 4 factorial plus 5 factorial. Okay. What I am doing is, when I is equal to 1, fact is equal to fact into I. That means in the first iteration, what is the value of fact? 1 into 1. That means 1. Okay. So that 1 I'll store into my sum. Sum is equal to sum plus fact. What is the value of sum now? 0 plus 1. Okay. Again I went inside. I became 2. Fact value is 1. 1 into 2. 1 into 2 is nothing but 2 factorial. Okay. So 2 factorial, 1 into 2, 2. That you are adding it to sum. 1 plus 2. Okay. You went here. I became 3. So already fact lo emundi 1 into 2 undi. That you are multiplying it with 3. 1 into 2 into 3. That is 6 is there in fact. That you are adding to the already sum. Already sum is 1 plus 2, that is 3. For this you are adding 6. Now I becomes 4. 1 into 2 into 3 fact lo undi. You are multiplying it with 4. Okay. So that thing you are adding to your sum. Clear? And again I becomes 5. Partial factorial will become into 5, that is 120. That is added here. Okay. You can print the sum. Clear? Clear? You have reduced a lot of multiplication by doing the series in this way. So this is the thing companies expect from us. Okay. So this series program, make a note of it. You have few more series to solve, but we'll see them one by one later. Today we have seen several programs. Tomorrow we'll have a discussion on Java arrays. Okay. So have you noted this series? You can read this number from keyboard also. Okay, it's 10:26. మీరు 5 నిమిషాలు లేట్గా వస్తారు, నేను 5 నిమిషాలు ముందు వదిలేస్తున్నాను. So after noting this, go to your Google Classroom. Okay, go to your Google Classroom after noting this. If I ask someone to show your running notes, will you show all the programs? So once you come to the college, then we'll see, because lot of assignments are all there, no? We'll see your Java notes, what is there in that. I'm not forcing you to go out and buy a notes, and you can write anywhere. You will be having lot of empty notes, no? So the responses should not be more than 40, because 40 people are there.